we're going to Uber. We're getting dinner before the show, and we call the guy. We call the Uber. This man shows up. It's freezing outside. It's winter. The guy has his window rolled down. He's just like a man. He goes, "Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going?" Like starts talking to us as we're leaving the house. And I'm like, no fucking way, this guy, really?
No.
And then we get in the car, and he takes like one of these like classic dad whiffs, like one of those.
Like to see if you were smoking weed?
Yeah, and goes, "Oh, you guys are the first customers I've had all night that don't reek of pot."
Oh,
and
good
then was
for
like
you guys.
dadding us.
Just Virginia Slims.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, dude. I was like, whatever. And then
meanwhile, you are going to
I was
Badfish.
like, I'm about to not reek a pot in like an hour.
That's funny.
I'm about to be in a baked out concert in like an hour.
Yeah, come pick us up in a little bit.
Yeah,
baby.
yeah. I was like, I hope this guy doesn't pick us up. So I was like, shit. And then he just starts talking to us about everything. And then he was like, telling us about his Uber drives and how he's been doing this because the real estate market is really hard right now. The percentages and this and that and all that shit. And I'm like, all right, whatever. And then he's driving Uber on because he's got a mortgage to pay for.
Oh my God.
And he gets all these crazy rides. And he was saying how he has a 2-strike policy. He kicks people out of his car all the time.
Oh
apparently.
my God.
Yeah. And this is from Plainview to Wanto. This is a 15-minute car
And
ride.
you're just like, what are the strikes? Please kick me out.
I was like, I am about to tuck and roll out of this guy's fucking vehicle right now. I was like, this is so annoying. This is so fucking annoying. I want this to end so badly. And this guy's just going on. He was saying how he picked up this group of drunk girls in their 20s and they were super drunk and they were coming from Finley's in Huntington and
they were trying to give him a hand job.
No, they were doing a boob size competition. Who has bigger boobs? And he told them it was a tie.
I think I'm going to sign up for Uber driving, everybody.
Yeah,
and then
another guy was like watching porn in the back of his car, and he kicked him out of the car because he was watching porn. And then another guy was like going to his office and was smoked a joint outside of his car and like came in and he was like pissed that he was like reeking a pot and like going to work.
Oh my God.
It was just stupid, so stupid. And then we pull up to the place. We go to this place in Wantagh called Bunker Hill. It's called Bunker Hill.
Is it walking? Is it in that?
It's in that area, in that
Okay.
vicinity. It's across the street from Kroger's.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
It's in that other shopping center.
Yeah, okay, I know exactly where it is.
We pull up. He goes, "What's the vibes like in there?" I'm like, "I don't know, man. First time," and just closed the door and walked in.
He was like, "You got a reservation for 3 in there?"
Jesus Christ! I was so drained from that. I was like, this guy literally just sucked the life out of me. I can't believe I just got dropped off by a fucking like dad. It was literally like taking a ride with your like. I felt like in a weird universe, like. Since I was like with my girlfriend, I was like, this is like my girlfriend's dad.
Yeah, I was going to say, because it wouldn't be like your dad.
Yeah, exactly. I felt like I was being driven by like a strict girlfriend's dad, even though, that's not the case at all.
Yeah, he was like, please set the Uber time to pick you guys up around 12.
So
She's got to be home by 1.
I was like, I'd rather have just had a foreign person on a phone the entire time.
Yeah.
That typical stereotype.
Yeah.
Of like somebody that's speaking another language talking on a
we
on
hate
phone.
those immigrants.
Like, I'd rather have had that. I'll pick that every single time.
No, I get
Other
you.
than being scolded by like a fatherly figure.
Do you want to know who surprisingly is my favorite type of Uber? Black women. Like fat black women. Might have to cut this part out of the podcast. But
Go on.
No, but like they are so kind and so like sweet and oh yeah, maybe I'm just thinking about Baltimore. But like when I was in college and I would have like a bigger black woman Uber driver, you never had that experience?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. I'll tell you right now, I do get a lot of Spanish women that pick me up from this house.
Really, Spanish?
Yes.
Okay.
It seems like I get it like anytime I'm like Ubering to the train station. Yeah.
While we're on a John, let's cancel the podcast roll. Yeah. Oh man, let's hope I don't go for SNL next week.
Yeah, right. Timestamp.
Yep, pretty much. But that when I lived in Baltimore, that was my favorite type of. As I hold your hand, my favorite type of podcast, like not podcast, my favorite type of Uber driver was the typical like bigger BBW, the BBWU.
Yeah.
The BBWU.
Nice.
The big black women Uber drivers.
Perfect.
Yep. So on that episode of John Cancel the Podcast.
Oh, man. But yeah, no, seriously, the white dad, fucking suburban dad, Uber driver guy, gotta go. There should actually be an age restriction.
Imagine they did a...
If you're a straight white man over the age of 50, you should not be allowed to drive Uber.
Now, do you think your dad would be a good Uber driver?
Probably not.
No, you don't?
I mean, yes, in the sense that he's like a good driver and knows where to go and stuff, but like, I don't know if he'd be interested in doing it. Like, it's just like
no,
a
like
lot.
all of a sudden his back's up against the wall. He's like, I gotta buy my son, my beautiful, beautiful 29-year-old son, amazing, amazing Christmas presents. I need to go out and I need to drive Uber. Do you think he would like really embrace it? Do you think he'd be like a real like good Uber driver? Because I think my dad would embrace the Uber driver if he had to drive.
I think he would be fine. Like, I think he would definitely like. I don't think he would be like you when you get to the back of his car. He has like tissues
I don't think
and water bottles and shit like that and phone chargers. But I think he would just pick you up and be like, all right, this is where we're going. All right, see ya. I think he would be able to. Anyone can do that.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's how I kind of used to be. It depended on who I would pick up when I drove for Uber, but it really like I tried to keep minimal talking as much as possible.
I know it's like sucks and you have to kind of. I just really wouldn't want to take the drunk bar rides. I wouldn't want to do that. And I know that's, I guess, how you make money, but I would try to avoid that by all costs. It doesn't seem worth it to me.
I was mainly a like rush hour guy. So I would get the people going to work. So I'd wake up at 5 a.m. and I would drive people to train stations and stuff like that. That was my big kind of thing. And then I had one big drive where I drove somebody from MacArthur Airport because they got dropped off at the wrong airport. And then I had to drive them to JFK.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, or maybe I drove them to LaGuardia. One of the two. But I had to drive them from one airport to the other. And then that was fine. I had one girl that I picked up twice because I lived in East Islip. She would miss the bus to go to St. Anthony's, and she would just take an Uber.
Really?
I was just like, okay, cool. So I just drive her to St. Anthony's. That was a nice one because that was...
They'd be like, oh, wow, your uncle is so weird.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, the best is she was actually Asian. And the only reason...
They'd be like, wow, your uncle is so weird.
But the thing was, her address where she was going came up in Mandarin or whatever, Chinese, whatever language it was. And I wouldn't know where we were going. I would just follow it. And then all of a sudden I'd see it was St. Anthony's when we were pulling up there. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I knew how to get here. Because I know where all the high schoolers hang out, you know?
Oh, my God. So if you pick up... So in New York City, say you're driving Uber and you pick up somebody whose phone is in Russian...
Yep.
You're going to... Wow, that is crazy.
I don't know if they changed it by now, but back in like 2018 when I was driving, that's how it was.
Back when you did your duty.
Back when I toured... When I did my tour of Suffolk County, you know what I'm saying? When I was making small talk. I remember the first time I picked them up, I picked up somebody from the Drift Inn in East Islip. It was 3 p.m. These two guys were blackout drunk. And they were like, hey, we got to get to Country Village, which is only like 2 miles. I was like, okay, cool. This is my first ever Uber drive. And they're like, wow, that's great. You're such a cool Uber driver. And I felt so cool.
Really?
Yeah. I'd average about like 4 or 5 trips a day. That's really what I got.
But you only did it for a short period of
Yeah,
time.
I only did it for Christmas presents. So, YOLO, right?
Yeah.
We survived. Just when the real estate market was down, you know?
Gotcha. Yeah. Right when your real estate business plummeted. You just picked up, you started taking the wheel of your own life. You said, I'm not letting these mortgage rates dictate my livelihood anymore. I'm getting behind the wheel. I'm grabbing the steering wheel of my own life, and I'm taking a right turn right to the wallet-filled kingdom.
Move over, Jesus. I'm taking the wheel back, and I'm driving right to St. Anthony's. So,
I'm dropping all the little Asian girls off at St. Anthony's.
I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going to follow it all the way to Chinatown.